I'm very pleased to present an artist tonight who I've been trying to convince to perform on Folkstage since the day I started this series. That's how much his music means to me. There are songwriters, and then there are songwriters. Please welcome Bill Morrissey.
I missed the last train back to St. Paul. Returned to my hotel just in time to miss your call. I found a game and came out on a deuce and tray, and I just got lucky in a dangerous way. Oh, you came to me when the moon was full, and I could not figure out what you were trying to pull. It was not my name you wanted, just a place to stay. And sometimes you get lucky in a dangerous way. Danger on the river, danger on the shore. If you didn't want the action, what you come here for? Pretty girl, was it a surprise to finally find the danger in your mama's eyes? It might have been a crime of honor, no one around could say. Might have been just a mistake, things will happen right away. Both men agreed it must be settled at the break of day. Then they drank around together in a dangerous way. The duel was set for dawn, but the sun it never rose, and it felt like such a waste to get dressed in morning clothes. Still I saw one man smiling as they led him away. I guess he knew you can get lucky in a dangerous way. Danger on the river, danger on the shore. If you didn't want the action, what you come here for? Pretty girl, was it a surprise to finally find the danger in your mama's eyes? Oh, down here love is waiting. It's up to you to choose it. And the leaves, they don't change color, they just give it up or lose it. And me, I never needed love until the break of day. That's when it gets exciting in a dangerous way. But you can get homesick in paradise and the treasures it brings forth. These rivers all run south when you're trying to get north. And these visions dance around you, but they never come to stay. And even Jesus can smile in a dangerous way. Danger on the river, danger on the shore. If you didn't want the action, what you come here for? Pretty girl, was it a surprise to finally find the danger in your mama's eyes? Well, we lay in bed in the winter afternoon. The birds flew overhead, I knew spring would be here soon. I was thinking of a duel I saw that never came to play, thinking seasons can change in a dangerous way. And nothing changed at all in St. Paul, and time was gone. I was whistling a little tune I learned from Spider John. He asked me if I loved you, but no words came my way. So I just kept whistling in a dangerous way. so pretentious, but I get to say it. I've always wanted to say something stupid like this, but this is one I wrote in Paris last April. And it's true. Oh, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I'd been to Europe a lot, but I'd never been to Paris. And the first thing I wanted to do in Paris was visit the grave of Charles Baudelaire. I don't know why, but I did. And I woke up pretty jet-lagged, and my tour manager, Annie, was there. She got on the computer and borrowed my pen to write something down. And I'm ridiculous about my pens. I always have one, you know. But I was jet-lagged and waiting for the coffee to kick in and stuff. We left for the cemetery. And there was a directory there, a cemetery, Montparnasse. And I thought, man, we hit the jackpot. You know, Jean-Paul Sartre's there, Guy de Maupassant, Man Ray, Samuel Beckett. I said, oh, yeah, dead guys in Paris. So I reached for my pen, and there was no pen. Annie had left it back at the apartment. And you can't get angry your first day of a tour in Europe. So I didn't say anything, and we went over to Baudelaire's. We found Baudelaire's grave and took some pictures. And just as I was leaving the tombstone, Annie goes, Bill, what's that by your foot? And I looked down, and it was a pen. So I stole it. I'm a grave robber. I've got Baudelaire's pen. And but you know, there's a yin and yang to everything. You want good karma. So when I got to Samuel Beckett's grave, I left a Fender flat pick on it, just in case he wants to do like a Carter family version of Waiting for Godot or something. And then I went home and I wrote this. I went back to the apartment. It broke but would not leave. The clouds hung too low in the air. I walked the lanes of Montparnasse, found a pen by the grave of Baudelaire. By the grave of Baudelaire. I walked home and I wondered how each day alone can feel the same. I took out the pen I stole, and the first word I wrote was your name. The first word I wrote was your name. But I had no letter in me, and I had no words to spare. Without a thought, I reached out and remembered again, you're not there. Remembered again, you're not there. I don't need words tonight, or dreams that can't come true. Tonight I need your loving eyes. I need to sing this song to you. I need to sing this song to you. The sun will rise tomorrow. In Paris it will shine. The bells will ring at Notre Dame. And I'll write your name one more time. I'll write your name one more time. Well, it's a funny thing. It's not, it's great to be back here in Chicago, and because when I was growing up, if you wanted to learn how to play fingerstyle guitar, you had to go back to the country blues guys. It was in the wonderful pre-Wyndham Hill days. I don't think Skip James ever recorded Beneath the Pyramid. But it was, you'd listen to Son House and Robert Johnson, John Hurt, and Blind Willie McTell, and Blind Willie Johnson, and some of the Piedmont-style Gary Davis. And I was 14. I was just learning. And we'd get these old field recordings, which were poor production quality. We couldn't make out all the words. And even the ones we could, we didn't know what they meant. We had great arguments over what a mojo was. And what do you do with it once you get yours working? So I was talking to an old high school friend of mine, and he reminded me of one of my earlier blues compositions. Because we realized that if we sang with great feeling and passion, we could get babes. Because they didn't know what a mojo was either. So he reminded me of this. This might have been one of the first songs I wrote. I had wonderfully forgotten it. Of course, when you're 14, too, living in sort of suburban Boston, you're 14, you don't really know what a mixed metaphor is yet. And do you realize how tough it was to find a job sharecropping in suburban Boston back then? So I'll just sing you one verse of this one. That's really all you're going to need. These days I just call it the Convoluted Blues, and I hope I never find the other lyrics. Oop. Uh-oh. There, hellhound. Well, the gal I love, well, she's 100 coaches long. Yeah, the gal I love, woo, she's 100 coaches long. Well, she throwed her arms around me like a turkey through the corn. Yeah, I think my songwriting might have peaked at that point. But I could say I sang the blues in Chicago. Yeah. I was so glad years ago when Columbia Records released the 2 CD set of the complete recordings of Robert Johnson. And that box set went on to win a Grammy. And it went gold without, the help of a dance mix or a video. I was just glad to see the music finally getting out there. In the year of 36, in the town of San Antonio, a young man in a hotel room stares down a microphone. Well, he sings each song once, he sings it once again. And each song comes from a hole inside where a soul once had been. The records made the jukes all throughout the Southland. The pretty women wondered, was he charmed or was he daft? Look over his shoulder, was there something there he feared? Turn your back for just 1 second, the man disappeared. A word came through St. Louis up to Chicago and all the way to New York City, where the blues just come and go. Someone took his picture once and an angel stopped and cried. In his eyes it was there to see, he'd cross the other side. Well, in a bar on a warm spring night was a man come through the door. He had a bottle with a broken label, and Robert seen his face before. He said, "This is my very best, drink it down, drink it slow. 'Cause when I call your name again, you just pack up and go." Well, was it some kind of trick, or did he jump the price? Or did he find a way in hell to sell his own soul twice? 'Cause there's a cry in the wind tonight, and only one man makes that sound. Baby, grab your hat and coat, Robert Johnson's back in town. I had a show in Philadelphia a while back that I was traveling with my tour manager, Annie, who couldn't make this trip. And well, Annie's a serious quilter, you know, something near and dear to my heart. And we had the day off, and she wanted to go out to Amish country to see the quilt museum and see the Amish quilts and stuff. And I hadn't been out there in a while, and I thought, well, sure, you know, we'll go. You want to keep your tour manager happy. So we went out, and, you know, it was only about an hour away, and I'd forgotten how easy it is to, like, run those buggies off the road. Oh, it's just... After the first half dozen, it was no challenge, it wasn't even fun. But, you know, we went to the museum, which turns out is in the town of Intercourse, Pennsylvania, you know, which is right next to, you know, Blue Ball, Virgin Town, Bird in Hand, and, you know, I guess if you don't drink, you come up with good names for towns. So now I have to phrase this correctly because I did this once and the audience kind of gasped. I said, Well, there, Annie and I were in the middle of intercourse. When I meant to say in the middle of the town of intercourse. And this thought came to me. What's the name of the high school football team? You know, give me an F! So I was talking to this one audience, and a lady in the back called out, "The Trojans!" I thought that made sense. This has nothing to do with this next one. But I just want to tell you one of my little road stories, because weird stuff happens. My father served in the Pacific Theater in World War II, and he never talked about the war much. I mean, it kind of hit home. I was doing a little lecture series at this college, and to them, you know, Vietnam is ancient history. Not only Vietnam, but Desert Storm is ancient history. And I thought, how can that be? And then I realized, I was born in 51, just a few years after World War II, but that was always history to me. So that put it in perspective a little, and especially since my father didn't talk about it. But there was a show back in the late 50s, early 60s called Victory at Sea. I don't know if you guys remember that. And we used to always watch that, and that's when I remembered that. And sometimes after somebody goes away, you learn something else about them. After this, this is Chicago. I'll just do everything as a polka. I am half Polish. I'm half Polish and half Irish, which I cannot explain. But the idea of a Guinness and a Gołąbki after the show sounds real good. My friend Cormac once said I was blessed with the charm of the Poles and the discipline of the Irish. Oh man, I went to Ireland for the first time 2 years ago to see the place where my sainted grandmother was born, you know. It was in this little village about a half hour east of Cork City, a little village called Killa. And I had two relatives there. They were my grandmother's nephew and niece, you know, both in their 70s now. And I didn't have their address, but I knew the pub they drank in. And you pull into this little village of about 1,200, 1,500 people, and there are a dozen pubs. It was my kind of town. And so I stopped at the pub door and knocked on O'Mahony's door, and old Mr. O'Mahony came out, and I explained who I was, and he goes, Bill. Yeah, your brother was over here with his bride 17 years ago, and your parents were here 10 years ago. Where the hell have you been? You've been looking for Betty Buchanan and Pat Fitzgibbon then. Well, Betty's in Cork shopping. But Pat's, it's 12:30. He'll be home taking his meal. And I said, well, would it be rude, you know, to interrupt his lunch? Oh, no, you got to go. And so he gives me directions. It's real close by. He says, you just go down the road here and see where the fork is, where the church is. And you go up, take the left, and you come to the attached houses, and then right after that, there's a left, you take it, that's where his bungalow is. And I said, okay, but I'm thinking attached houses. I'm thinking Baltimore row houses, Philly row houses. I said, sure, but what do you mean the attached houses? He goes, you know, Bill, with straw on the roof. So I walked back to the car with tears in my eyes. I says, Annie, in 1847, the Brits, they not only stole our potatoes, but they stole our H's. They gave us a 25-letter alphabet and said, oh, go write great literature now, Mr. Smarty Pants. And me, being half Polish, I have no need for vowels. It cuts me down to 20 letters. Well, I guess I'm a little chatty tonight. So this is called Victory. He had a couple stories about the war, but that was all. Like it was gone and didn't matter anymore. The years he gave up to the Navy were visited on him, not on me. A couple souvenirs of what he'd done, a Chinese star, a silk flag of the rising sun. That was all he ever let me see, till we watched Victory at Sea. He'd pour a ginger ale in a highball glass before Sunday dinner and after Sunday Mass. We'd watch it all on a black and white TV. The show called Victory at Sea. A ship of heroes without names, another zero down to the sea in flames. I saw him smile at the Higgins boat and the LST as we watched Victory at Sea. I thought it was just a TV show, but he'd watch each week as if to see some face he might know, as if each week someone brought in one more home movie. The show called Victory at Sea. And these days I find it now and then, and I watch a while just to feel the way it was back then. It took so long to learn. He saw things I'll never see. He saw Victory at Sea. You know, the oral tradition still does exist in folk music. Songs still get passed down friend to friend, generation to generation. And as always, they get changed around a little. People add verses or change chords or delete verses. This is one I learned from Dave Van Ronk. He never sat down and taught it to me. Just over the years, I kind of learned it by osmosis, and then Jameson. And Dave got it from Reverend Gary Davis. And Reverend Gary got it when he was a young man from this itinerant guitar player who'd come to his town once or twice a year, known only as the Guitar Man. And where he got it, I don't know. So I sing it now. Who knows, maybe somewhere down the line some little puke will get it from me. Maybe not. But I always liked it. Well, Candyman salty dog. Hey, candy man, salty dog. Now, candy man, salty dog. You won't be my candy man, I won't be your salty dog. Makes sense. I got a little red light, got a little green light. I got a little red light, got a little green light. Got a little red light, got a little green light. Oh, you stop on the red, go on the green, don't you mess with Mr. In Between. Now run, fetch a pitcher, get the baby some beer. Yes, run, fetch a pitcher, get the baby some beer. Run, fetch a pitcher, get the baby some beer. Run, fetch a pitcher, get the baby some beer. Run, fetch a pitcher, get the baby some beer. Yes, run, fetch a pitcher, get the baby some beer. I wish I was in New Orleans, sitting on a candy stand. Oh, gingerbread man, Santa Claus. Hey, gingerbread man, Santa Claus. Now, gingerbread man, Santa Claus. Gingerbread man with raisins for his eyes, gonna eat them just quick as I can. And it's Roger Clemens, Ezra Pound. Oh, Roger Clemens, Ezra Pound. Oh, Roger Clemens, Ezra Pound. Roger's making up a brand new poem right there on the mound. That's the lost verse. Now run, fetch a pitcher, get the baby some beer. Yes, run, fetch a pitcher, get the baby some beer. Run, fetch a pitcher, get the baby some beer. Run, fetch a pitcher, get the baby some beer. Run, fetch a pitcher, get the baby some beer. Yes, run, fetch a pitcher, get the baby some beer. Do anything in this God Almighty world to bring my candy man home. Well, it's candy man, salty dog. Hey, candy man, salty dog. Now, candy man, salty dog. You won't be my candy man, I won't be your salty dog. I parked my cab on Water Street, I'm waiting for a fare, watching young girls in their first heels step like colts across the square. Fire on the ocean, thunder on the sea. I think of handsome Molly, wherever she may be. Now I'm either in this cab or bar, never in the choir, sometimes howling and amazed like the wind hung up on barbed wire. Fire on the ocean, thunder on the sea. I think of handsome Molly, what she promised me. Well, it's pretty doe-eyed Molly could see so well at night. It was a hard trade she made just to see in black and white. gone down this north coast, and it's boy, you best take care. Cut yourself with a knife, find all the salt that's in the air. Fire on the ocean, thunder on the sea. I think of handsome Molly, who cried so easily. Now the soldiers down on Water Street, they eye the little girls, and the little girls of Water Street will take them round the world. Fire on the ocean, thunder on the sea. I think of handsome Molly, wherever she may be. You know, I think there's not enough perky divorce songs in this world. It's just something that's lacking. Makes you want to get up and get divorced. Fix your hair the way you used to, pull it back and let me know that you're the same girl I met on that warm night back in Tupelo. There ain't no wind in this town, there's no one around that we might know. Fix your hair the way you used to, one last time before you go. Well, dreams come running up so fast, and they always leave so slow. I fell from present down to past with you. How it happened, I don't know. And I'm not pleading or complaining, I'm just wondering if you're leaving friend or foe. Fix your hair the way you used to, one last time before you go. Hey, we had us a ride, and our rides come to an end, and I'll never question why or say because. You could say goodbye, and I'll say once again, just let me see my world the way it was. Well, I've called down to the front desk, and they've held a cab for you. And I've just got this last request, it's such an easy thing to do. I just wanna see the girl who once gave me her heart and let it show. Fix your hair the way you used to, one last time before you go. Stayed in St. Louis last night, which is kind of crazy because I'm playing there tomorrow night. I was just checking it out. I got into the hotel, and turn the corner walking toward my room, and the first sign I see, it says trash room. And I thought it was an order. Do you know, I'm a musician. I'd driven 500 miles that day. I was tired. Okay. But you know, folky trashing is different than like heavy metal or hip-hop trashing. It's more cerebral. And it calls for a lot of Post-its. It's kind of like, this television could have been in the pool. This lamp is in one piece. You're welcome. Okay, yeah, I'll do that one. Okay. This is one I haven't played in a while. I'm just kind of curious to see if I still know it. Well, the folk music has changed a lot in recent years. So now we gotta, take a urine test before every gig. Because of the folk steroid. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but have you seen Greg Brown and Garnet Rogers lately? They're seriously bulked up. I mean, I knew Brown when he was my size, Yeah, we've toured together. I know for a fact he corks the neck of his guitar. Just to go for those extra extended metaphors, and so far nobody's approached me. I don't know why. Well, I am in Illinois, so this is called Casey, Illinois. Feels like this motel might explode. Just can't sleep well on the road. And the snow, it piles outside my door. And I just can't call you late at night anymore. I set off young to make my name. Now I'm not young in a young man's game. Could have had some wins if I'd kept score. And I just can't call you late at night anymore. Well, through the years, each mile just added to the distance between us two. And somewhere on some road, across that line, I moved too far. Now there's nothing I can do. The river forks and the highway bends. The stories fade, but they never end. I speak your name and I walk the floor. I just can't call you late at night anymore. We all do things we don't believe. Yes, it was me who chose to leave. Still don't know why or know what for. And I just can't call you late at night anymore. Well, through the years, each mile just added to the distance between us two. And somewhere on some road, across that line, I moved too far. Now there's nothing I can do. Well, after midnight, I have found the hours slow and the clocks break down, and nothing moves like it did before, and I just can't call you late at night anymore. This is like the pit bull of capos. You know, one of the things about being a little kid is, you know, you often have an imaginary friend. You know, like, I have an imaginary girlfriend now. She's very nice. David Sedaris' sister has an imaginary boyfriend. They know each other. They talk a lot. But since musicians never really grow up, I also have an imaginary band. So we'll do this one. This is sort of a rent party song. I spent the last few years listening to, I was going to say Too Much Lester Young, but you can't listen to Too Much Lester Young. So, what? Mary, what? Yeah. It's always in there. He'd come a-knocking right upon your door. Got to keep moving to the straight 4-4. He's wearing shoes they don't make no more. No need to read the music, 'cause he knows the score. Pick up his horn, the people say he's not from Kansas City, he just blows that way. Look at the women that he come here with. That man can get a dozen just by flatting the fifth. You can't have a party till the band begins, and you can't have a band till the tenor man grins. Pick up his horn, the people say he's not from Kansas City, he just blows that way. So hand me my Selmer Elmer, soak me a reed. I got to join the band, this ain't no time to impede. Tenor plays high for the KC moan, but I got the bass covered with my baritone. He's jumping on the highway, leaves the notes all bent. This party's going my way, no more worries about the rent. Ain't no night for trouble, so trouble never comes. We got the police on the trumpet and the landlord on the drums. Pick up his horn, the people say he's not from Kansas City, he just blows that way. Had weird stuff happen on the road. One of the weirdest gigs. This has been a lot of fun here tonight in Chicago. Just weird stuff. All musicians have stories. I think the weirdest gig I ever did was working at a folk festival in Paw Paw, West Virginia, at a nudist camp. I am not kidding. I think Susan Werner's done it too. I think she has. But if you go to see her at the festival, and there's a little pause in her, between songs, she's catching her breath, just yell out, "Sing some Bill Morrissey." No, trust me, she loves that. But yeah, so I did a folk festival at a nudist colony. I mean, I got to wear clothes. I considered going barefoot as sort of a token gesture. There's that old showbiz axiom where, if you're a little nervous or uncomfortable, just, imagine your audience naked. It didn't call for much. And man, there are just some people who should wear clothes. If somebody had told me when I was 17 and had just started this business that, Bill, decades from now, you'll be talking to a naked 65-year-old woman about Robert Johnson, I'd have gone into insurance. Yeah. Oh, it's a fun life. Dropped my pick, but I didn't because I'm a professional. I've been long gone, from the stage to the highway to the night grill. Everywhere I went, time just stood still, and every time it all went down the same. I've been long gone, and every dream was a dream that you'd still want me. In every motel room, your brown eyes would just haunt me. And in every time I called out your name. I've been long gone, set loose again to chase another payday, knowing if I could just hold you, I'd be okay. Tell me you still love me one more time. There was nothing on the highway, there was nothing but the wind, and I could not look ahead. I could just see where I've been. From Hartford down to Tampa, Duluth to Malibu, I ran every trick, I told any lie just to get on home to you. I've been long gone, now I'm standing in the doorway of your front hall. Ain't this better than a letter or a phone call? Tell me you still love me one more time. I've been long gone, unpack my bags and throw away the suitcase. Let me know it's true, let me just touch your face. Tell me you still love me one more time. And I've been long gone. Hey, true love always comes as a surprise. Can you see your reflection in my eyes? Tell me once again that you're still mine. There was nothing on the highway, there was nothing but the wind, and I could not look ahead. I could just see where I've been. From Hartford down to Tampa, Duluth to Malibu, I ran every trick, I told any lie just to get on home to you. Been long gone, and those nights alone were almost too much to bear. Throw your arms around me and just keep them there. Tell me you still love me one more time. One more time. Well, you guys have been great. Let's do this every Saturday. I'll write a whole new set every week. I'd like to close with this song that closes the new record. One of my best friends was the Scottish fiddler Johnny Cunningham, who passed away about 3 years ago. And it was like Duke Ellington instead of Billy Strayhard, and he was like the second beat of my heart musically. It's just I would write something, and we were both living in Boston at the time, and called Johnny up, and I just wanted to play him the thing. So this is just one I wrote for him. Thanks, everybody. Born to the traveling life, that is what we do. We use the whiskey and the wit and the luck to pull us through. You look up to the gray sky, tell yourself it's blue. You look for the familiar when you have to face the new. And these days the sun don't rise as much as it goes down. And things look a little different now that Johnny's back in town. Tonight I'll sing my songs for you, stand up here alone, and then I'll make my way back to some motel I'll call home. Wind down just a little bit with my guitar in that room, but every night I still hear the harmony to every tune. And these days the sun don't rise as much as it goes down, and things look a little different now that Johnny's back. That was Freudian. Now that Johnny has left town.
Bill Morrissey, live on Folkstage. Bill has many CDs available on the Philo Rounder label, and they are available at your local record store. He also has a website, BillMorrissey.com, to buy his new recording as well. Hope you'll tune in next week for Folkstage, when our live artist will be the April Virch Band from Canada. Folkstage is made possible by Peter and Nancy Clark, Andy and Becky Anderson, Art Yevsky, Anonymous Family Foundation, the members of WFMT Fine Arts Circle. Our engineer is Eric Arunas on 98.7 WFMT.